What's happening, guys? It's Boxing Lowdown and I'm back here with another video. Now, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Feel free to drop a comment if you like, guys, and I'll happily get back to you. Now, this is not one of the videos that I normally do, but I thought I'd touch on it today. Logan Paul, Floyd Mayweather, these two were due to fight on February the 20th, so next month, but it's not looking like that's going to happen now for whatever reason. I'm hearing that one of the reasons is because that they're not satisfied with the demand for it. So, I don't know. People will say what they need to say, but what I do know is that this fight is not happening right now. And I know that there are some people out there that are probably listening to this video thinking like, you know, why is he talking about this for, man? This don't have anything to do with boxing and stuff, like what we really care about. This is just like a circus, do you know what I mean? And I can like sympathize with that because it is a bit like a circus, this fight. But is it becoming the norm now? That's what I really wanted to touch on. Like, these sort of like exhibitions and these particular type of fights between Logan Paul, Floyd Mayweather, and, you know, Jake Paul starting to make his name in the sport now. I know some old school fans, man, that are looking at this and pulling their hair out. They're looking at it and thinking, what is going on with boxing nowadays? But, you know, if you go as far back to, you know, Muhammad Ali, like, exhibitions have been a thing in boxing for a while. This ain't nothing new. I think now it's starting to get highlighted more because of the YouTube era. It's popular now. I mean, when you saw KSI fight Logan Paul, look how much numbers that did. And then you're seeing like promoters kind of jumping on it, like Eddie Hearn, for example, looking to stage events like this. And, you know, I get it. Like, it's all about the money at the end of the day. For hardcore fans such as us, I mean, we'll tend to turn a blind side to it, really. But I guess my stance on it has always been that if it's attracting people in the sport, and I know you've probably heard this as well, but if it is kind of getting boxing out there in a positive light, then it could only be good for the future of the sport, because, like it or not, this is the way the world is going. Like, the whole YouTube era, social media era, this is just how boxing is now, man. Long gone are the days where, you know, you had to wait for a month, go to the shop and buy a magazine, and then you find out what's going on. Like, all the information is on social media right now, and these influencers are taking advantage of it. Do you know what I mean? And there is a crowd there. Even if we're not the market, you have to remember the hardcore market is small. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're small out here. So people that are actually going to watch these two are their fans. And, like, I get why people like Eddie Hearn and others will try to capitalize on it and get these sort of people in the sport as well, because it obviously attracts more money. But in the meantime, we're going to have to put up with stuff like this. Do you know what I mean? Logan Paul, Floyd Mayweather, Jake Paul and whoever, like Pacquiao, Conor McGregor. It's just, yeah, like, it is what it is. And I think we're just going to have to learn to live with it, because it's not going to go anywhere soon. Do you know what I mean? It's not going to be something that's a phase. Like, we've seen that proven now. And yeah, I just feel like that this could be the norm. I'm going to maintain my position and say that as long as this is not affecting the fights that I want to see, like Terence Crawford and Errol Spence, I mean, that's not down to, we can't blame that on like these YouTube fights. That's just down to egos. But as long as it's not having an effect on the sort of schedule and, you know, like, let's say if like Eddie Hearn had 40 shows per year, for example, and normally he'd have obviously 40 fights or whatever, and he took 10 of those and made like YouTube fights instead, that's where I'd have an issue. But if it's like you're just adding to the schedule, so if he had 40 fights per year, then he had 10 YouTube fights or whatever, then I wouldn't really care, because it's not really been affected. But that's just my personal stance on it. I know you might have a different one, but yeah, I just think that nowadays, I think that these boxers should, instead of complain about it, because I know that there are a lot of guys that do complain about it, maybe learn from it and try and see like what they can do to boost their own marketability up and try and, you know, make them a more marketable fighter, because it's a prize fighting business at the end of the day. You know, like, look at people like Ryan Garcia, for example. He hasn't fought for a world title yet. He hasn't won a world title. He's got 10 million odd followers on Instagram or something like that. And, you know, look, he's getting the big fights. Like, he's going to be fighting Manny Pacquiao soon. So, yeah, it is what it is, man. That's just my stance on it. But going back to this Logan Paul, Floyd Mayweather thing, yeah, it's not going to happen as of now. I'm guessing that it is going to be rescheduled. We have been told that. But we don't know as to when it will be yet. So let's see what happens, man. Logan Paul's, what, 25 years old? He's only had the one fight where he lost to KSI. Mayweather's like 43 now. 43, he's going to be 44 by the time he steps in the ring with Logan Paul. And yeah, at the end of the day, even though he's old, he's still gonna have his way with Logan Paul, man. Let's be honest. So that it is what it is. It's just it's always been a thing, but I think now it's been highlighted more considering just the sort of era that we're living in. So let me get your thoughts on it, man. Though I want to hear what you guys think. Are you kind of like the old school fan where you're just like sick of this shit? You're just like, nah, I just don't want to see this stuff, or are you more open to it? Can you just like turn a blind side to it, or does it actually interest you? Do you actually like to watch it? Let me know, man. Any opinion is welcome, man. There's no real right or wrong answer here. Some people will like it, some people won't. It's just down to who you are, really. But let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section below, guys, and I'll catch you on the next video.